All right, this next restructuring technique is one of my favorite. It's where we essentially stop playing defense and start playing offense. It is called the debt swap, and it's all about fighting back on high interest rate debt. The game plan is simple. We essentially find pockets of high interest debt like credit cards, unsecured lines of credit, or retail store credit cards, and swap them to a lower interest rate debt through strategic financing. You immediately free up a massive amount of cash flow and save thousands of dollars. Now, there are different levels to this play. The first one is pretty straightforward, and it is called a 0% balance transfer incentive. This is an option that is often offered by credit card companies to get you to move to their credit card from a higher interest to a lower interest and giving you a break along the way. So you're getting a temporary breathing room where you're not paying interest and you're potentially switching to a lower interest credit card. This is a temporary strategy. This is not the strategy that will save you most money, but it is a tool in your toolbox. And often we have to look at whether or not it makes sense to close off the original credit card you're switching from. And in my view, it's best to keep it open because there is typically a story associated with that credit card on your credit report. And by collapsing it, you can lose some of that power. So we have to be careful when we utilize this zero balance transfer tool. The second option is a consolidation loan from a bank or from a lender. You can potentially get an unsecured loan at a lower interest rate that will collapse more expensive loans into that lower interest rate loan. So you're still benefiting that way. And thirdly, the most effective strategy is to do the debt swap using the home equity in your property, whether it is a primary residence or a rental property or a combination of the above. And you're essentially using cheaper debt, again, to pay down some of your most expensive debt. Let's make this real. Let's say that you currently have an outstanding balance on one of your credit cards for $40,000, and that credit card is at 22% interest. And your monthly payment to service that interest is $730 per month. Now, if you have a property where we can take out equity from and set up a secured line of credit, whether it's your home or a rental property or a combination of, and now we can swap this big balance to the secured line of credit, let's say at an interest rate of 5.5%, and your monthly payment goes down from $730 per month to $183 per month. That immediately puts an extra $574 of cash flow in your pocket every single month. That is roughly an additional $6,500 of cash flow on an annual basis in your pocket. This is the power of a strategic debt swap. It's more than just moving buckets of money around. It essentially and fundamentally puts you in a much better financial position.